Hello, I am Charlene of the Rainbow Frequency, and I first want to start off by saying thank you for your support, your likes, your shares, your exchanging energy with me on this channel, your engagement, all of the above. I do offer personal readings and energy balancing services. If you are interested in any of this, check out my bio. It has information on how to find out more about me. So, anyway, I am here today and we're going to check in with the current energies, which we have a whole slew of things going on. We have the Lunar New Year, and it's the year of the water tiger. We have the new moon. We have Imbolc. All sorts of stuff going on that speaks of fresh starts and new beginnings. So we're going to do an intuitive card reading. I'm saying hello to everybody that's popping on to this live. And I'm just going to check in to see and intuitively what's going on, what we're feeling. Personally, what I've been picking up, I don't know if you all have seen the movie Willow. It's been a minute since it's come out, but it's a classic in my opinion. And there's a scene where Willow, who is this wizard trying to gain confidence, I love tales of this, The Last Unicorn as well. And he is trying to help this other wizard sorceress woman who'd been cursed into an animal shape to get back to her true form. And she goes through a series of different animals and different shapes to get there. And I feel like I've been doing that in and of myself, almost kind of coming to alignment with myself and all my parts and pieces, and, like cat head, fish tail, wings galore, magical, mythical being. It's been exhilarating, a lot to go through, so kind of exhausting and needing a lot of self-care and going into kind of hibernation mode with all that shifting. Because it takes readjusting with each energy that presents itself, and how do I feel in this and how do I work with it? So it's a lot. And I don't think that's just me. From the people that I speak with, it seems to be, you can articulate that in many different ways, but people kind of readjusting, perspective shifting, things moving, dominoes tipping, and then we have to adjust how we feel in response to what's come to light, that kind of thing. A lot of past life remembrance coming in, perhaps, for people. All sorts of things coming home to oneself, remembering who we are, what we are, how we're designed, in many, many levels, facets. So first we're going to go to the bone casting bag that I've created, of various objects, a few bones, and see what that has to say. What do we need to know to help us in our highest good for when we come to this? For these are timeless. Going down. Hold on. Pardon me. Eek. First, we got the pine cone. All right. All right, so first we got, and it's not I'm not exactly, it's some sort of pine cone like object. I'll give you a closer view. And then since I have two channels going up, big perspective. I'm going to give you guys closer view again, and I'll talk about it. So see how it has this structure to it that's going upward. It's that coming into alignment, again, of what I was saying. I keep also getting kind of like a Voltron, and forgive me, the younger people or older people or whomever doesn't get the references. But there's an internet out there, and you can look up Willow and Voltron and all these things. But it's basically all the bits and pieces coming together into this alignment. One could say this, in an essence, is that Kundalini rising, that power coming together that rises up within you. We also got the tooth. And, you know, this is one of the, like, pointy guys up front. Canine? I don't know. Anyway, I can't know everything, right? So I'm getting the message of, or hearing, I give my eye teeth. And it's, you know, those teeth for ripping and tearing and like biting, sinking into things. So it's that instinctual ability to get in there and do what you have to. Then we got this button, which how do I hold it? Okay. You know, this could be viewed close up. It could be two lions or two griffins. Instagram's video quality is clearer. Yeah, so two lions, two tigers. It's hard to see them, you know, even with my giant glasses, and even to show you, but open for interpretation. But it's that two of these creatures. Give you the close up again. And it's, again, it speaks all about that coming into alignment. In a grounded, instinctual, and intuitive way. Using all of your senses. I have my left ear vibrating. Doing these collective readings, and again using all of my senses and doing this. Woo! It's fun. It's a wild ride. It's that using that inner ear, that inner hearing, that inner knowing, using not only your eyes, but your sense of smell. Again, your ears, how your body feels. You know, do you feel excited? Do you feel nervous? Do you feel fear? You know, like they're different feelings, they're nuances. So you have to not necessarily be too quick to react, because you might fly off and misjudge something, right? So you have to like, what is this? Let me be my own detective, and each moment to really read myself, the environment, everything. Because we are moving into new terrain. And I know people might not want to believe this, but I do think truly in my heart that we're moving away from a period of this needing to survive mode and further going down, or up rather, or I mean, there's no really up down. It's all fractal. Like, again, let's not get caught up in dualities, right? But babble, toil and trouble. Basically, we're expanding our consciousness, we're evolving, and that means ideally, right, that we're moving towards a new period of existence where we adapt and grow into our new concepts, abilities, invention, self-discovery, the as above, so below, not being so separate. Another way to think. All right, so let's go to the Moonology deck. I don't have it so long to babble away, so I have to keep myself kind of on task here. You know, realizing what limitations you have to work within and making the most of it. All right, adjustments are required. Adjustments are required because we are leaving behind the old to move forward in the new, leaving behind mindsets, behavior patterns, situations, circumstances. You know, apply this to yourself, use your own discernment, you know, take what resonates, all of the above. We're all at different places in our healing journey or in our lives, and making the most of our lives for our highest goods, hopefully, as best we can. So adjustments are required because if you're in a new environment, if the energy is shifting, if we're leaving an old and moving into a new, you have to take that time to get the lay of the land, to see how you feel, if you want what you used to want, if you don't want what you wanted, if you want something new, all of the above. So many things. So take it all in. Be grounded. Use all of your senses. Take it one step at a time. I mean, you could, what's the word I'm looking for? Speculate till the cows come home, but you have to take it one step at a time and see where it takes you. I mean, even when you're psychic as heck, it isn't all about predicting everything for yourself and everyone around you and being a smarty pants know-it-all that's like, oh, everything's so easy. No, because then that would kind of take away the magic and the surprise. So even when you have abilities, there's still sometimes that waiting, having patience for everything to come into alignment. It's still a process. It's still that labyrinth. And I know I repeat myself, but it's that having to build the message in, out, back again. I know, I don't know. I know, I don't know. I know, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's the way of the world. It's the way we do it. In, out, and back again. but we're doing it and we're rising nonetheless. Anyway, moving on to the Edward Gorey Fantid pack. We got the Effigy. And this is, to me, saying removing of the veils thinning. I personally, in my lifetime, I've always loved Halloween. I've always loved different traditions and the veils thinning and these special days where you can commune with the dead. But they're not just special days that we can, yes, there are certain days and times where things might be easier and more might be able to be perceived or passed through. But where I'm going with this is we can get to that if we want to, if we pay attention to how things communicate. Your ancestors are there for you, whether you wish to perceive them as such one way or another. Whether you want to think of it spiritually, whether you want to think of it as they're within your DNA. And science will say that you can pass memories through our blood. So one way or another, you can follow me here, right? So where I'm going in this tangent is we have steadily been moving ever forward in the realization that this is so. The veils are not wanting to perceive the esoteric on a collective sort of scale. It used to be these subjects, these being able to read cards, tarot, tap into the other side, were specific individuals that were, rare. And now we're getting to where, certain people might have different ways of presenting their abilities, but there are more and more and more and more and more of us realizing we can access this part of us and work with it. So it's not just few and far between that are having these abilities. The human body has its own ability to repair itself. When we sleep at night, our bodies repair themselves. If we study and have faith and intention, can harness the energy that surrounds and work with it to heal ourselves consciously. Throughout time, different practices would have restricted who got to know what, and we're not in that time frame anymore. We're more and more realizing it doesn't matter exactly the label, tomato, energy work, energy healing, Reiki, shamanism, all sorts of different titles and ways to articulate. It's all real and there and for everyone to work with. So drop the illusions or the delusions or drop the blinders, really, and let yourself perceive more of what's around you and accessible and open up. Like, if we know that our eyes only let us comprehend a fraction of what's around us for our own safety and comprehension's sake, and we're evolving, well, maybe your vision is going to change a bit and you'll get more clarity of what's around you in that way. Perhaps it's a more internal mind's eye. When you meditate, your visions are more clear. There are many different ways and nuances that people have about this. 43, 7, divine number. So these, you could find them uncomfortable, disconcerting. You know, if you're beginning to have more awareness, that can sometimes flip a script on you and you're like, ah! I myself, you know, many of my friends too that have been going down studying these modalities with me, you know, there are many moments where you're like, am I nuts? Am I crazy? This is intense. So that's why it's good to have community and talk with people, maybe work with somebody, because it is a lot. Like, I've had to accept, and again, I'm waving at everybody, I've had to accept a little bit of losing my mind in order to gain more clarity and wisdom. And that's an act of faith in and of itself. All right. So then, you know, one of my favorites, the Archetypes deck by the Wild Unknown. Let's see what archetypal energy or tool, what we can work with to help us in getting there. All right, the Eternal Child. Heal your inner child. See the world from the eyes of a beginner's mind, of a child's mind. Play, enjoy, discover. Again, well, when I was looking at it in the video, this looked to me like a tree, which makes me think of, again, the grounding. Grow your roots down into the earth, stretch your branches up into the cosmos, connect with both grids, the crystalline and the celestine, the core of the earth, the center of the cosmos. You know, really explore, play, and connect with love and light in your heart. You know, that energy. All right. And I'm sorry that today is going to be a bit quicker, but I wanted to connect with you because I love Groundhog Day. I was talking to my friend Scylla, who's a Tasmanian, and they don't have Groundhog Day. So I told her she should bring up her own version of it since she has parents that are Germanic. So, you know, don't call it a comeback. We're just bringing it in. All right. Giraffe, the bigger picture. Take a step back and gather your thoughts and feelings. Yeah, I mean, again, I love it because I've been saying this and then it says it again. So if the message repeats, that's how it builds. You know, that's how it sinks in. I personally have some favorite tarot readers on YouTube that I follow, and I will meditate, sit with myself, and really I'll listen and sit and hear, and then I'll go and listen to the YouTube people that I love, and they repeat it back to me, and I'm like, oh, that's what I just heard. Okay, it builds the faith, it builds the confidence, because I mean, just because I do doesn't mean I am not human myself, right? Like, there's a point to building that faith of trusting, going further and forward, onward and upward, expanding yourself, going into new territories where you push your comfort zones in a positive, beneficial way. You know, giraffe, I get the message of, instead of just seeing what's immediately around you, you can see in a higher consciousness, broader perspective of how it all goes together. So just give yourself a moment. I love to play mahjong. Have since I was a kid. There's something really soothing about having it all go together. Whew, so nice. I wish everything were so easy, right? But it's really also that marriage of matching tiles, but seeing the big picture of how many tiles there are to go and where you have to keep it all going down equally so that it stays in that balance. All right. Now to the tarot to give us, those are our overarching sort of help. And then this is our map. And we're going to use the Crow Tarot. At different points in the year, and currently where I live is winter. There's a raven that comes and sits in the top of my tree. I look forward to this period of getting to spend time with him. And then I have different hawks that come by, and it just, those things to me are blessings and things to give thanks for. And you look forward to the seasons. And sure, it's cold as heck, and I don't love it being originally from Southern California, but I have not acclimated. Having spent a lifetime on the East Coast, I have never acclimated really to being cold. But I've learned to appreciate winter, how much more I can see the birds. I do love the silhouettes of trees without leaves. When you go hiking, you can see more on the forest floor. There's all sorts of things. All right. Okay. So, overarching theme, we have the Nine of Pentacles. We had it in reverse. I don't keep them meticulously all straight. So to me, this is saying, when I see a card in reverse, a lot of times I'll think it's an internal as opposed to an external energy. So this is really what builds you up. What helps you come into alignment, what feeds you. Of course, you can't always just do what lights you up. I mean, we have to marry the practical and the spiritual. I would love to spend my day meditating and just doing all that. But at the same time, I have other hats I have to wear. Until the divine orchestration makes it so that we don't have to work to pay the bills, right? Like, I have to work. Since I have a family, I have to help take care of all the things, hit all the little bells and check all the boxes of being an adult. I don't always love it, right? But the alternative, not very great, right? So what is it that you can do to build up for yourself that abundance so that then you can also cultivate and take care of the external as well? Take care of your internal in order to help the external kind of energy. So then we have, that was this original card is our overarching theme. So it's that marriage of intuition and instinct to build that inner abundance, going through the changes, new beginnings, growth, healing, but go slow. It's building that up. It isn't already externally here. It's us building that up. Then we have where we are currently, or where we've just left recently, the Eight of Cups. And this is about going after that ninth cup, that holy grail, that will get you closer to that completion, the filling you up. Sure, you might perceive this as leaving some things behind in order to go after what you're really seeking. There could be that flavor to it. But it's a positive forward movement energy. And the cups are your emotions. Again, that holy grail, that what you're seeking. There's a sense of it of like love, sure, but loving your life, loving what you're doing, loving. It can be romantic love as well, but you get the gist. Because then the advice is the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is that nurturing, filling up your cup, being balanced energy. It's not the King of Cups, the ultimate of that evolution of self, but it's getting close. And let's see. It's, sitting in your emotions while being grounded, listening to that divinity within, going through the ebb and flow of the changes. Your emotions, the world around you is mercurial, ever changing, right? It is what it is. And the world around you, it is what it is. It's an ebb and flow. It's a journey. It's a progression. And there's going to be changes. There are going to be things to adapt to circumnavigate, to work, to realize, no thank you, to establish boundaries, so many facets to grow from to get there. So the lesson is to really try your best to sit in your own divinity. And again, like I always think of Roman Holiday. I never really quite finished this in the one video I was referencing, but Audrey Hepburn sitting there in her court and people coming up and saying, do you want this? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? No. And she'd say, yes, thank you. No, thank you. Yes, thank you. No, thank you. That to me, what a great way to have healthy, loving boundaries. If only we can all sit, whether we're male or female, in that energy of integrity, grace, and power, humbly, regal. No, thank you. Yes, thank you. That's to strive for. The crab knowing when to retreat, when to go out. Starfish, they can regenerate themselves, but that takes time. Flowers have their own season as well. So it's really speaking of the ebb and flow, the seasons, the reading, when, how. Like that's something I really try to sit with. Please help me know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and why, for the highest good results that will delight me in entirety. If only. Please. Do my feathers get ruffled from time to time? Yes. Yes, they do. Do I have horns that come out? Oh, yes. I mean, in my birth chart alone, I have horns aplenty. But it's the learning what parts and pieces you have, how to best work with them, where you might need to temper it a little, where sometimes you might have to whip out that forked tongue. Sometimes you need to. Then we have advice from spirit. I just got, all right, so where we're leaving, where we are currently. This is the obstacle, to really sit in this energy for yourself and read your emotions and not react, but be proactive. Then advice from spirit is the Four of Wands. And this is that taking that time to be in that quiet contemplation. When you need to rest, rest. Let the clarity come in. If you're not clear, sit and meditate longer. Like, you don't need to rush. You don't need to rush forward. You need to, again, marry the intuition and the instinct. See what's happening around you. Take a moment, as many moments as you need, if at all possible. Take your time, as much as you need and is allowed for, to really process clearly what's around you and not perhaps get triggered or activated by something and this is how it was in the past, and then I'm going to respond exactly so. No. Again, this is about clear thinking, forward movement, breaking mindsets and patterns, leaving the past behind and moving forward, right? We're all about growth and forward movement and evolution of self, at least on this platform. That's what I'm all about. So really, discernment, when to move, when to not move. What are you seeing, feeling, hearing, smelling, tasting? What do I make out of all of that? Now go. Because then you have the Ten of Pentacles, and that is, in the material world, building up that legacy, collecting it all together, progression, going from the 9 to the 10. It's forward movement, perhaps leaving a chapter that you've previously been in. To a certain degree, we're all, we're in the Lunar New Year alone, right? That's ending a chapter in and of itself. So, but this is forward movement. This is if you take your time, if you use all of the gifts, senses, abilities, all of what's coming in around you, and make the most of it, make the best of it for yourself, in your circumstance and situation. You can build up in the material plane, whether it be relationships, career, anything in that material sort of essence. This is what this is speaking of. So community, career, love, relationships, and like that sort of essence. And again, we have a lot of that. We have lotuses, we have 3, so divine sort of coming together. We have a lot of new growth, flourishing, flowering, beautiful abundance. So build that up. If you don't like where you are, think on what you can do to change your circumstances and your situation to improve it for yourself, for the environment that you're in. If we're in a portal, if we're in a window, you have choices. Twos are about choices. It's about also coming together and see the big picture. Let things come to light for you. Work with what's around you and build what you want to build up how best you can in each given moment. That's the best you can do, and that's the energy we're working with. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. And let's see, my friend Ryan, second giraffe I've seen today. That's awesome. They're great. Look up the symbolism. If you keep seeing things like that, it, to me, is where you dig in to the symbolism and look into the internet and to what they can tell you about, again, take what resonates. That's why I love researching, because there's so much information, and for certain avenues, you're like, oh, that part, yes, that part. And then maybe on this other channel, ooh, that part. And you marry it together for yourself. So, yes. Anywho, best of wishes, all the love, be well holistically inside and out. Again, I really appreciate all of you, and these are exciting, transitional, big growth times. We're remembering, realizing, and discovering so much about what's around us and what we're working with internally even. So dig in and really get to know yourself, and then bring that dazzle to the world around you. Right? All right. See you next time. Over and out.